right, we are live. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. First of all, Heather, it's so good to see you.
Literally so good to see you. It's been a while. I mean, I follow you on social, obviously, have to stay connected, but it's been forever.
I know it's been a little too long. I am so excited to have you on today to catch up, talk about all the things. One of the things that I've always loved about my friendship with you is that we talk about all the things. We don't just talk about like surface issues, and we don't just talk about like the tough female issues. We talk about everything. And I love that.
All the things.
All the things. So let me just let you introduce yourself to all of our viewers. You can tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing in the world today.
All right, perfect. Well, my name is Heather Gardner, and I am a mom of 3. Kinsley's 2, Lily is 8, and then Braden's 13. It's so weird to be like, I have a 13-year-old boy of all things also. I am a widow now, coming up on almost a year, almost a year now. And yeah, so what do? I own a spray tan business called Glow Job by Heather. So custom airbrush spray tanning. Yes, it's you don't forget that one. You don't. It's very catchy. And then I am a podcaster at Hot Widowed Mess. And let's see, I co-own Rebel Collective, which is an intimate lifestyle photography company where we help women just feel empowered. We're going to be moving towards female empowerment events. But of course, we all love to feel beautiful and sexy without being sexualized. That's our whole thing. So owning your own sexuality and what that means for you and feeling confident and powerful in it. So we do that. And I mean, is that it? I'm a cheer mom. Oh yeah, I teach at Move. So I quarter force, PIO, soul fusion, all that.
Yeah. So you're like most women today, you're busy between businesses and career and all the other things you want to do, plus being a mom, plus having this last almost year now of like learning how to live widowed without Luke.
Yes.
So
yeah, well, and then navigating, I started dating someone, so then like navigating that's a little it's a little tricky.
It is tricky. But I think that one of the things that I have really appreciated is how just honest you've been in your own personal journey, not just since Luke's death, but previous to that. Like everything has just been so transparent. And I think that don't you feel like that reminds women that they don't need permission from other people, but it sort of also gives them that encouragement that's like permission?
Yes. Yes. And at first I didn't realize that would be, I hope just sharing my journey, the good, the bad. I am very transparent with everything. I would hope that like someone would just feel like they're not alone, right? Because I felt like that a lot before. But I've had women reach out and just thank me for sharing it. And then they tell me their story. So it gives other women who maybe feel like they don't have a voice or that they are just really alone and struggling, like that you're not. So I love using my platform. My podcast, I want to bring grief awareness. That's one of the things that I'm really passionate about now, because I never realized that grief was so encompassing in your entire life and things like this. And a lot of widow support groups are for older women. Not that that's bad, but it's just a different stage of life. When you're 50 and you lose your husband, it's different than when you're 30 and you lose your husband.
Yeah, especially when you have to get out of bed and take care of these little people, and you have to get
that look exactly like them.
Yeah, right. Every time you look at your kids, right, you're reminded.
Yeah. And then it's hard because you have to be strong for them when you're not. It's a whole thing. Yes.
Yeah. So what was it like for you when you finally got up and said, I gotta move on? Like, what was that journey like for you?
Oh, it was a long one. So after Luke passed, I went into a very dark place. I have never felt so alone. I didn't understand why I didn't pass with him or why it wasn't me. And I didn't get out of my room, like out of my bed. Like I didn't leave my room. I had severe anxiety, depression. I had thoughts of suicide. In fact, not a lot of people know this, but I had a close friend, I had people checking on me. My friends were coming to like every day to just make sure my mom was here watching my children. My children were cared for. I was not able to be present for them, but they were definitely cared for by my friends and my mother, but I didn't leave my room. So friends came to check on me. One actually kind of tricked me into going to a hospital where they then decided that I needed to have like further. Anyways, I got, admitted for like that fun 72 hours. So apparently when you don't brush your teeth, you don't eat, and you say you want to be with your dead husband, that's like red flags for like, you have to see somebody. So
that might be a clue.
Well, but they went a little bit further. Like I wasn't actually, maybe, I don't know, that I was put into deaconess on a psych hold for 72 hours. So that was one of the worst experiences of my life. And that's not helpful. That's also led me into my ketamine journey. It wasn't helpful. And I don't know, that just set me back a little bit further. Right. So it was like, oh, I can't be sad anymore and voice my opinion because my friends think that I'm going to go kill myself. Right. So I can't be honest and tell them how I'm really feeling. Like, yeah, I drank all night long on the bathroom floor crying.
Right.
Like, yeah, I took a bunch of Xanax today because I don't want to feel anything,
Right.
which were prescribed to me, by the way. And then, like taking edibles, things like that. I live in Washington, so that's fine. But like those are my coping mechanisms, and they weren't coping. It was just to numb myself out enough to like maybe sit on the couch with the kids.
Right.
So that was like a good, honestly, like months. It was like a good month. Like I put on like a good face, like for a celebration of life. Get drunk enough, Xanax, you couldn't get through anything. And I kind of like emotionally shut down at that point too. And then after like, my friends thinking that I'm just crazy. In my mind, that's what I was thinking. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to not feel anymore. I'm just going to like shove it down, and they don't want me to be sad anymore. Right. Like they just want it to be over with. Like you had your celebration of life, you had a funeral, like we threw you a parade, get over it.
Right. But that's not how grief works.
No, it doesn't. No. And I, not discounting anyone, a lot of widows that are younger are like cancer widows or widows who are, they're sick, they're dying. I didn't have a choice to even say goodbye to Luke. I don't even remember if I kissed him that day, to be honest with you, because we went straight to the river from work. I was irritated with him. I remember he kissed me on the forehead like 10 minutes before he died, but like, I don't remember, because he knew I was like, kind of irritated. Life, okay?
Wives get with their husbands.
Yes, because he just did some stupid stuff earlier, okay? Like we didn't fight, but it's definitely like, I'm not going to kiss you back, and I am not being overly nice, and we are going here, and I am like, that's just what it was. And he left so early in the morning. Like, he always kissed me good morning, but I'm sure I was like, this was like waking me up or something. So those are the things replayed in my head, right? So like, those are those things. Totally went off on a tangent. But I kind of like shut down after that. Like I didn't talk to anybody. I started running, which was kind of like so I'd learned about ketamine. And then the running kind of like coincided about that. So ketamine infusion therapy remaps your brain. So I was struggling with severe PTSD, anxiety, all that. And so you do 6 infusions in 4 weeks. And I know like people are like, oh, ketamine, if you read up on it, it's different than like a recreational ketamine. This is used, it treats PTSD, depression, suicidal thoughts. After that first infusion, I never ever thought about killing myself ever again. And that was something that only ever came about like with Luke. Of course, like we all go through depression and stuff, but I had never thought about it the way I did once he passed. And thankfully for my children, if it weren't for my kids, that's probably,
yeah,
could have been a possibility. So I did that, and my life was like changed. I was able to talk about the event without going into severe anxiety and trauma, like just reliving the trauma all over again. I was able to be more present, and it's not like a cure-all. Like I still go back for boosters. In fact, I just had one on would have been our 9-year wedding anniversary, and I have one coming up on Monday. And so, yeah, I go back and do my boosters, and I try to work through things It's not easy, but I have been off of Xanax now for 10 weeks completely. I'm not on any antidepressants, SSRIs, nothing. I work out. I do read personal development every day. I'm trying to get back into a really good routine to where my life feels manageable and structured again.
Yeah.
And as of Monday, I'm going to like take 30 days off from drinking because I have noticed that it is a habit that since Luke died, even if it's a White Claw, I will open it. And it's like, not that I'm getting blacked out drunk every night, but it's like something that doesn't serve me anymore. I feel like, and that's just like a next step in my healing.
I totally get it. After my hysterectomy and all the complications that came from it, and this like flood of mental health that came from the 30 pounds of weight gain because I couldn't work out, because everything I eat doesn't sit well with me, because the doctors botched another surgery. And that was the reason I had to have a hysterectomy in the first place. And it was just like this. So it's been 2 years of like this domino effect. And I realized I was using alcohol to do the same thing, to numb myself, to not look at it, to not deal with it. And about a month and a half ago, I pretty much said the same thing. I'm like, you know what? It's not serving me right now. I need to cut it out. And I did for 30 days. And I was like, wow, that was a huge benefit for me. And now I find myself not reaching for it, even when it's nearby sometimes, like I get to, like Josh will have a beer and I will be like, oh, okay, no big deal. Like I can, I'll have my seltzer water and I don't crave it. That was a big change for me. Moving, it really was like, once I got beyond the 21 days, that's when it got easier.
I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie. Cause like, I'm being really honest. I've used that.
Yeah, I get it.
Especially since Luke died. I even remember before in quarantine, me and him would joke around. I'm like, it's like camping.
Yeah.
Let's crack a White Claw at noon. It's like camping. We're doing home projects. So it's probably even been longer than
I would say a year. Even like if I look back at when we first became friends, like
we drank. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was normal for us to be like, every time we were together, the alcohol came out first. And it wasn't just like in our friendship, it was in everything that I was doing. And so like, I would say that was something that we really like had in common right out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird that you said, and it's like just the 30 days. I'm like, I'm sure I'm going to go longer than that, but it's like, and then my fitness goals, you can't drink even some White Claws every day and it just isn't possible. Like I work out a lot. I teach a lot of classes. My body is like, girl, you're going to be bloated until you want to like cut it out. And I don't even drink anything fun. I don't even drink anything fun anymore. It's like vodka, soda water, White Claws.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because Josh says to me the other day, I was like, I cannot get my pants zipped. I do not understand why I'm so bloated. I eat so clean. Like, of course, like all my food sensitivities, and I have to eat so clean because of it.
And you cook everything yourself. You don't go out.
Never. We never go out to eat. Like, and if we do, I am very like, I strip everything out of, and I order it specifically. I'm very, very careful because of all my food sensitivities and allergies. And so like, I cook every single meal from scratch. I don't even eat like gluten-free bread. I don't eat anything processed whatsoever. And you think that alone, I'd be like dropping the weight left and right? No, not even like exercising once a day is that making it happen. I was like, this is a little bit fucked up.
It's a lot. It's not fair. I'm like men can like also like lose 5 to 10 pounds in like a day. Like I can gain that in a day.
Yeah. And then it
like
doesn't
literally
leave, right?
No.
What the hell?
Yes. Or like you gain the 5 from like water. Okay. So I got a Fit Track scale to like not be so like in my head about it, because it like measures your water and your lean mass and all that. Because like I'm a heavier, like I'm 5'6", right? I carry more muscle on me, so I just weigh heavier than a lot of people. So that like messes with my head. So I have to like get around that. So I thought
Yeah.
like the whole fit track scale thing would help, but I just obsess more. So I'm just, I don't know. I think that once I stop drinking, really start tracking more, then it'll be better.
And I think that that's the case. Like, I remember back when I was like really at my fittest,
Mhm.
and after Weston was born, and I would say that the thing that I was doing was, it was the big difference was when I was doing no alcohol. That was the
Yeah.
biggest difference for me. And I even noticed, like, so with my hysterectomy, they discovered that I have stage 4 endometriosis. So, and it's on all of my organs. And so the interesting thing about that is that there's a lot of foods that will trigger it. Anything with sugar in it is going to trigger it. Any processed food. So then, like, it's so weird because I still have my ovaries. So you still have that month cycle where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm going to get my period, but then you never get it and you cramp and you're miserable, and all of that endometrial tissue. This is the interesting thing that I learned about endometriosis. So it implants on the external parts of all your organs, right? And it grows like it would in the uterus throughout your month cycle. So think about
That's
that.
crazy.
And then it has, when it sloughs like it would normally do during your period, it has no place to go except for into your abdomen. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I can eat as clean as I want. I can be as perfect with my nutrition and my exercise, but every month I go through that. Every week my clothes fit differently.
That's crazy.
I know.
So this doesn't here. I had a tummy tuck not very long. Well, see, December 18th, I had a tummy tuck. So also to touch back on when you were talking about not being able to work out, I had complications. I have factor 5. So I have my breast done, like 6 years ago now, as I'm grabbing him. I had my breast done.
Yeah.
I forget we're being recorded right now. Hello. So as saw me feeling my boobs up. Got them done 6 years ago. Had complications then. So then I had complications with this. It's like really common, I guess, to get fluid buildup. So I couldn't work out for like 10-ish weeks. So normally it's just like 6 weeks, couldn't do it. 9 weeks, couldn't do it. Tried to run, swelling. So I was getting fluid removed from my stomach, which is a big needle stuck in your stomach to remove all the fluid because you have to. Otherwise, it's like, so my stomach would like bloat and then like it would feel a lot better. But like I couldn't work out forever. And that was such a mental, it was a mind fuck because
That's exactly
I was
what
stuck
it was.
on the couch. Yep. I couldn't do anything. And it wasn't like, so the first 6 weeks I was in severe pain. I had muscle reconstruction because from C-sections, they do you no favors. My muscles were so severely separated. He stitched them all back together and then removed 9.5 inches of skin. No liposuction or anything, but so it was like kind of a major surgery, more than I thought, oh, I've had a C-section, no
Right.
worries.
Yeah.
No, so different. I couldn't stand up straight for weeks. I've only been able to like lie flat in a tanning bed just recently. And this is December 18th.
Yeah.
And I've just been able to start like working out fully again, like the last month.
Yeah.
And it swells. The swelling will come and go. I send my surgeon, my plastic surgeon videos. I'm like, is this just like, he's like, no, just swollen. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And it feels weird. The muscles like still feel different. So it's like different. It's so weird how things like that affect your body and you think that you just go back to normal and you don't.
No,
you never do.
You never do.
It's a trauma in your body. I didn't realize
is.
this. Have you seen, okay, it just came out. You have to like do a donation to watch it before it's released. It's called The Wisdom of Trauma.
It's been
amazing.
on my, it's been in my feed or whatever to watch.
Okay. If I can still send it to you, because I had 7 days, I'll send it to you.
Yes.
It is amazing. But our bodies, like subconsciously, we go through trauma.
Yeah.
Like in surgeries, that's your body is going through trauma. And just because like we don't see it like that, like it affects everything after the recovery. So the drinking, things like that, like your body is trying to feel okay again because it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is I had a hysterectomy. They went in and they pulled organs out of my body. Right? They like took an organ out and had to move other organs around in order to get to that organ. And then I somehow thought like I walked with for 8, almost, yeah, 8 weeks. I walked hunched over with a cane afterwards.
Yeah.
It took a year before I could even start trying to work out. It was like me walking loops on my patio out here for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like that's the most I could do. I had to sleep. I couldn't go up and downstairs.
Oh
So they
yeah, I
had
was gonna say
to
your
move-
stairs.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, the boys had to move my bed into the living room. Josh and I slept in the living room. It was like, and my treadmill is such a big step that I couldn't get on the treadmill until I had been cleared by the doctor to raise my leg that high.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's intense. I mean, I'm
It is.
sure like the feeling like my surgery probably felt a little bit more like yours. And
Yeah,
it's because like
absolutely.
I remember not even being able to stand up. And I had my surgery in I mean, yours was like, mine was elective, yes. But when you have 4
Still,
C-sections, can I just tell you, 9.5 inches of skin. That was
that's a
not going
lot.
anywhere. That was not going anywhere.
No, you can't exercise away skin.
No. And well,
No.
and the muscles. So the muscle repair, I mean,
Yes,
best
that's
decision I've ever made.
huge. Because
Best
after
decision I've ever made.
Weston, I also had some diastasis recti and was able to bring it closer together. But after my hysterectomy, it's worse.
Yeah, because they separate your muscles when they pull all that stuff out. I
Yep.
had a nurse that does, C-section. She goes, Heather, we literally just pull your muscles. Like,
Yeah.
they don't care. Zero fucks given. Zero. I'm like, that's rude. You could have like done me a little favor. Like,
Right?
you're already there. I did get my fallopian tubes removed, so I had a set with my last C-section.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that I wasn't going to get my period anymore, and I still do. So that's a rude trick.
Yeah, because you still have your endometrial tissue that grows because of your ovaries
So,
producing estrogen.
and now that you said that, I'm like, well, because I was like, well, maybe I want an ablation. No, not after you said that, because
Oh,
you just hold on to it. It's
oh
like,
my gosh,
I
yes.
was also, it helps regulate hormones too.
Yeah. So here's the other interesting thing. My doctor at the time when he did my hysterectomy, this is when he found it. He found the endometriosis at that time. Nobody gave me the decision making. He just went ahead and started cauterizing the shit out of my endometriosis because that's the standard procedure. He just went ahead and did it without me consenting to it. So that really pissed me off, because here's the interesting thing about cauterization in tissue like that. Guess what? That's only going to piss it off further, because now it's growing through that burnt scarred tissue.
Oh, and it's going to grow through it.
Yep.
Because that's what that's what it does,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know a lot about it because, like I don't have it, but I know a lot of people struggle with it, and it's painful. And I've seen you go through it.
Yeah.
And I've seen you just be put down, and you're like, for women like us, we're always go, 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 always like, fit, always able to do whatever. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we don't wait around for anyone to do stuff for us. We're hauling, we're lifting, we're working out, we're doing all the things, and we never take a break. And so it's even worse, I feel like, because I remember sitting on my couch, like not being able to move once I was not in pain anymore. Like 6 weeks of like a lot of painkillers. Finally, I wasn't in pain, but then I couldn't move. I had to be stuck on the couch.
Yeah. It's fucking miserable.
It is. And it's like, you can only watch so much TV. I bought a lot of stuff. That's one of my things I need to work on. I have a shopping problem. I have a shopping addiction. And
I get
it's
it.
a thing.
Because
I did a lot of shopping.
Else to do.
Yes.
And it's not like I can go I have to drive 3 hours to get to any decent shopping, right? Like that's a reality for me. So what do? I do a lot of online shopping.
Mm-hmm. So when you're bored and you're laying there, I did this when I was breastfeeding too. I did a lot of online shopping when I was breastfeeding really late at night. But it also like makes me, since Luke's been gone, I've done a lot more shopping, I feel like, than I have before. But I also do a lot more experiences, and I feel like living, because you never know.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What's it been like for you since you've, so I've got a couple questions for you. First of all, I want to circle back to the ketamine because I'm really curious. Watching your journey with the ketamine infusions was mind blowing because you can absolutely, if you go back to your posts, you can see the transformation in just the way that you spoke in your post. Like, it's mind blowing to me. And I've dealt with, and you know that I've worked with people with mental health stuff for a very long time. So mental health, and I've struggled with my own mental health issues. So I think that this is something that not enough people talk about. Not enough people are talking about. I know that we're starting to get beyond the taboo idea of mental health, but it's still not enough. Like, we can still do better, right? So with the ketamine, how many so you said you felt the difference day one, but how many infusions do they recommend, or do they create a specific plan for you, or how does that work?
So everybody gets the standard 6 in 4 weeks because that's what they show, that you get the 6 within the 4 weeks. It creates new neural pathways. So what it does is it creates new brain plasticity, where what I describe it. So I'm not a scientist. I do have, if you go to my podcast, if people want to know more, I have the co-owner of the ketamine clinic comes on, and she's also a nurse and goes into the science part of it. I will try to be as scientific as I can, but my version is I was stuck in this anxiety trauma loop that would not even allow me to get past my door out my bedroom. So after the first one, I would, without being severely medicated. So it allowed my brain to keep firing, even though those triggers would come up. So like, if you have PTSD and a trigger comes up, you're shut down. You shut down, your body shuts down, you're gone. A trigger would come up, it would hit me, and I would just my brain would still be able to process. So how I describe it as it took me out of that anxiety loop, took me out of that PTSD loop. So I was able to function, right? So it was like, okay, well, that sucks, but I can keep going. Yeah. It's not like it's a cure-all. It doesn't numb you out. It doesn't do any of that. It literally just allows your brain to keep functioning. It doesn't stop on that trigger. You just keep going. Gotcha. So it's like where I would be stuck. That's how I describe it. That's the easiest way for me to get it across, other than you're just going and creating new neural pathways that trauma, that anxiety has killed. It's no longer a dead end. You're jumping, you're still going, or you're creating a new pathway. And so I remember I went running after it was like 2 or 3 of them. And I looked at my friend that I was running with, and I just started talking about it. And I've never really talked about the event. And then I just like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, it wasn't numb. Like, I was just able to and it just felt like I needed to talk about it. So I did that then. They do suggest that you go in for boosters as needed. They are amazing there. They have like an app that texts me every day that asks me how I'm doing. I fill out weekly mood like charts and stuff. And then from there, they graph you, and you can like decide, okay, I'm dipping, I need to go back in. Gotcha. So I went in for a few boosters after the 6, like once a month. And then I was like, oh, I'm fine. I got this. I'm just going to do my thing. I spent a lot of time on the water. I tried to just do a lot of stuff myself. I did look into microdosing mushrooms. That was something that I tried, but ketamine is like fast acting. It's monitored, it's dosed, like there's nothing like it. But I was still taking Xanax throughout this time. So I kind of had like a little, I don't know, an episode, kind of like a breakdown. I was having a really hard time with everything, and then went back in. I had thought I'd only been gone from the ketamine clinic for like a month or so, but it had been like 9 some weeks. It had been like a really long time, maybe 12 weeks. It had been like a really long time. So then I started my boosters again. And it's just amazing. Everything's better. Like, it's, for me, it's probably something that I'm going to need for a little while. Yeah. And especially like the anniversary is coming up on the 26th. So I had a booster on our 9th wedding anniversary, what would have been. And then I have one on Monday coming up. That's going to be around that time. So just like around triggering events, when I get triggered, more stuff like that. So I have planned one forever. So after this one on the 21st, I have one a month. Gotcha. Scheduled out. So I kind of just do that. And then I'm just trying to work on myself from there, but it really just allows me to not be stuck. I can function. It's like what medication would do, but fast acting. And, only 42% of people, they say, are reactive to SSRIs or treatment. for depression and stuff. And then it's like, most of the time you just get a standardized, here you go.
Yeah.
Come back in 6 months and maybe we'll see if it works. Well, then you have like a list of all these side effects now, and now your brain is really chemically imbalanced because you've been putting stuff in, and now your body doesn't even want to make the chemicals anymore.
Yep.
And I experienced relief. Okay, so the downside, it is not insurance doesn't accept it. I think Tina did say that they are working, they do like a hard bill or a super bill or something. Some insurance companies, they're trying to work around it. But it is self-pay, but it changed my life and gave me my life back. I don't know if I'd be able to still, because after Luke died, I mean, I still haven't picked up my camera bag yet. I need to, I want to take more photos again, but my creativity died. Like everything in me died. I changed jobs. I didn't really change jobs. I no longer like manage a salon I was at. I now work for myself. It was like a changing point. I'm a completely different person, and I had to learn like how to like live again, and like things. It's just, I've really created like a new life, but it's like a life, and I hate saying that because it's not like a new life, but I had to create a new me because there is no old me anymore.
Yeah, no, that person was gone when Luke died.
100%. And for a long time I kept trying to be that, and I can't.
Yeah.
And I know like I've gotten there's some mean people out there that want to like say like they think that I just should be the sad widow who doesn't do anything with her life.
Well, this
And
is what
that's
I
just
meant by like widowhood is this taboo bullshit topic that somehow you're just supposed to pine for your dead loved one forever. Like you're not allowed to live.
Yeah, and I love Luke more than anything. He's in my daily, his pictures are everywhere. I'm allowed to love him and still move forward in life.
Absolutely. You can do both. And a lot of people don't understand that we live in duality as human beings all the fucking time. Like there is so much duality about being, and let's just talk about the fact that being a woman creates even more duality in our lives. Every single day, we have to be this bombshell, wife and this or partner and this badass mom. So you got to be sexy and nurturing all at the same time. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, and not to mention all the other things. You got to be professional too. You got to be like classy and social. Like it is just be your goddamn self. That's my like be yourself and who gives. Yes. And you know what? People are always going to nitpick everything. And I've gone through this now. People have 100% supported me. Okay, there's been like I dated one person that was just a really bad person. You know what? I feel like we all have to go through that. And now I'm dating. Okay, the dating thing. I've gotten so many people being like, it hasn't been a year. I would love for someone to show me where it lists that Luke has to be dead for a year before I can. I've gotten message after message about that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like it hasn't been a year. How are your kids like? They haven't even like grieved. They're never going to be done grieving their father. Also, Lily and Kinsley are too young to process it. Braden's in counseling. There's nothing more that I can do other than make sure they have a great life. Jordan, my amazing boyfriend, is great with them. I introduced him as I would any of my other friends that come over. It's nothing. And I don't know. I think that people need to stop putting their judgments. And also, unless you have been in this situation, I don't want to hear what you would do. Exactly. And I'm tired of people telling me I'm not honoring. I've heard that a few times. I'm like, well, you know how his family is. Things like, it's like, who says, like, I think I'm doing a great job with those kids are down there. And I mean, what would you do?
I'm going to interrupt you for a second because I'm just going to point out the fact that I know what it's like to have 2 children die and how difficult that was to get out of bed after that with kids needing me, like showing up, even though my husband was still here taking up the slack. His parents were here taking up the slack. Just the idea of getting out of bed after a loss like that. And you, my sister, have not only gotten your ass out of bed, you've gotten the help that you needed for yourself, for your kids, and you are fucking putting one foot in front of the other. And I'm so damn proud of you. Like,
okay, hearing it from you makes it sound a little more powerful than I guess I forget to tell myself that sometimes. Right? I'm like, God, Heather, like, I guess, you're probably like, oh my gosh, I really should be a little bit this farther and I should be doing this more and I need to do that more. And you literally just brought it back to perspective. Like, you're right.
It hasn't even been a year and look at what you've already accomplished in your healing. You should be getting high fives from everyone you encounter, and that should be it.
Yes. Okay, and I can't discount that. I get a lot. I mean, I have many
do.
women that reach out, and it
Yeah.
is amazing. And there's only a few, but it's just funny. Those few have no weight, nor are they anything. But it's just like, we should, as women, never judge another woman because we don't know what their life is like behind social media. People don't see that I cry on a daily basis for Luke, how much my heart actually hurts, that I wish I could have him. But at the same time, or the guilt that I feel inside myself for being happy right
Jesus,
now.
I can only imagine.
God, it's like, God, I'm happy. And it's like, you know, I saw a medium too, my medium Tisa. She kind of changed a lot for me. I've spoken to Luke several times, and then he kind of like vanished for a while from me. And she said it's because he knows he hurts you too much when he comes around and he wants you to move on. And I go, ha, Luke would never say that. Have you ever, you don't know him. And she goes, yes, he wants you to be happy, and he will be the one that brings somebody to you. And I'm like, well, that's Luke. That's Luke right there. Because he definitely would. So so it's just hard. And you go through a bunch of things, but definitely guilt. That's one thing that I just have to work on. And when I start feeling it rise up, ketamine makes me really self-aware of my feelings too. And I'm able to process them in a way that feels really safe for me. I've never found a therapist or anybody that I've connected to, but I can go within myself and kind of like do the healing during these. And so it's really cool. And it just makes me dive more into myself. So when I start feeling those, I just kind of put myself in check and do something to change my mind into a positive form. And just to remind myself, like, he wouldn't want me to feel like that. I shouldn't feel guilty.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was the man that the second I was sad or irritated, he would try to make me laugh. Like, he would never, like, he wouldn't want me to be upset or feeling guilt or shame, because
that man did was for you and your kids. Like, he put his heart and soul into making you guys the happiest people on the planet. Like, the way that he loved you and the way that he loved those kids. So beautiful to witness. So beautiful to witness. He would not want you to be stuck in your bed feeling guilty. And
no, he'd be like, get up. I remember
that was the other thing that I just really appreciated about Luke. He worked hard, but when he was with his family, he played hard. He planned for it. He showed up with you guys. He would be so upset if you were stuck.
He wouldn't allow it either. That's just like, that was never how he wouldn't allow me to be like that.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be like, come on, like every weekend we were always doing something. We were always out. Like, always. And I actually am continuing on doing that. I make sure I got a paddle board. So that was one of the things. The water was always so healing to us. And we always spent so much time on the water. One thing that was so traumatizing is like every single memory for every single weekend for like months after the accident, like, we're all floating on the water, like with the baby on the water. And it was just, so I was afraid I would never get back on the water again. I have not been back on the river, nor do I plan on it, but I did get myself a very nice paddleboard, and I paddleboard all the time. I was just out on Coeur d'Alene Lake a couple days ago. I'm going out to Hauser today. I went out for the first time by myself a little while ago. I do have a life jacket. I did wear it a couple of times, wear my ankle leash. Everybody should have a life jacket, but I'm going to write a memoir or a saga of this life jacket, because when I tell you, I'd never bought one before. And after this incident, I'm like, I need a life jacket. And then I'm like, because I'm Heather, I'm like, I need a cute one. Right. So, and so I ordered this life jacket, and my breasts don't fit into this life jacket. And I just realized that, right?
Really not made for women, just FYI.
No, right. They are not. And so maybe this is our next like company, because I had to go through like 6 different life jackets. Thank you, O'Neill. I am not a size 12. My boobs are. So then it finally fit here, but not around like anywhere else, right? So then I take it out and I have it on the back of my board. Now, mind you, I'm thinking, I'm not going to like loop it into my board, because what if I need it? Then I can just grab it, right? So I get back off the water and it's gone. It has fallen off my board at some point. Maiden voyage gone. After I have spent like close to $1,000 returning and buying these stupid life jackets that are out of season, so they're taking forever. So I was like, screw it, not getting one. I ended up getting one. It came, it fits. I now loop it into my, but the saga continues. The saga continues. Oh, because we were trying to find one of the ones from Costco. That's how it started this year. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till it comes out in Costco. I'm gonna get one of the $40 ones. Like, just forget it, right? They didn't have my size. None of them sold out right away. So I'm like this, and I kind of like laugh because I'm like, is this Luke? Is this Luke's like funny way of being like, because that would be him.
Yeah.
He's just like screwed with me. Oh yeah, that's funny. My medium said that like he moves things, and I'm like, can you tell him not to, because that irritates me. And so now when I can't find things a lot, I'm like, is it me or is it him? Is he just being like, because he could never find his keys either. So now I have that issue.
But also, one of the things that I fondly remember about you is that you set things down and you forget where you set them down, and then everybody has to stop what they're doing to help you find those things.
Now I don't have Luke around to help me find them. Although, can I tell you, Jordan has a great memory and remembers where everything is. I'm like, where is that? Oh, thank you. Also, Jordan does not drink, which is a great thing. And I think that's also helping me with moving forward. Just because, like you were talking about before, as women, I feel like we're more pressured to drink because socially it's so acceptable, and you're more fun and you're more flirty and you feel better, and like not feel better, but you have less inhibition. You're not like nervous. It has become so just that's what you do. You get together and drink, and I want to change that. I wish that would be something different in my social circle. So I'm moving more into that. Well, as you know, I would show up with the Tito's and all the stuff to make mules and all the champagne. I have a refrigerator like in the garage that has always been like dedicated to alcoholic beverages.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we are the same way. And it's not just like we don't drink a ton, but we drink very socially. And as well, when Josh's parents are home in the summertime, and of course, being Irish and Italian,
well, it's summer,
right? And they drink wine every night at dinner, and so like it's always a thing. And it's kind of like, even when I say I'm not drinking right now, they'll still offer it to me, right? Because it's out of habit. It's out of like, that's just part of their family culture. And it's kind of one of those things where, growing up with an alcoholic mother and an alcoholic father, I've always been very conscientious about my drinking and knowing where the line is. But I think that I've allowed for it to be so socially acceptable in my life that it's a given, like you said, like it's everything that we do in our social circles. And why can't we? I read the most amazing article by a woman who no longer drinks. She's sober. And she was like, listen, we all have been the non-drinkers at a social gathering, and we're sent to the kiddie cooler with the juice boxes and the bottled waters. Where are the fun adult drinks that are non-alcoholic? And I was like, that's a really good point. Where are our fun, fruity drinks?
I'm going to start making some. That's going to be a thing.
We actually had some people over that are newer to the area not too long ago, and they don't drink. And so I made this cucumber lemon water cucumber lime water that was just like been sitting overnight, and it was like so delicious. And I just, oh my gosh, it was so delicious. I know. And it was so refreshing. Everybody enjoyed it. It was on a hot day. Like, there's no reason why we can't be doing stuff like that more often.
I like that. Yeah. And not having everything centered around, I know for me, and growing up, my dad was a high functioning alcoholic, and it was like, mom used to make us, pack us cooler. My mom didn't drink though, at all. I've never seen my mom drunk, ever. Or like maybe like a daiquiri. That's it. I don't know where I came from. My dad. I do. My dad.
Yeah,
so I also, I do. My dad. I also am very aware of like, this is another reason why I think like there's like taking a break from not drinking. Number one, because it's habit. I've seen it my entire life. I don't want my kids to like think that that's all you do is drink, because it's funny now, right? They cheers me at the White Claw. They know what kind of champagne mommy likes. Like, that's cute, but not really,
Right.
when you think about it. But I don't want to get to like, oh, I'm functioning, so I'm fine. And then, oh, like, what happens when you're not? Because like, it's a very slippery slope.
Right. Especially for those of us who come from alcoholism in our backgrounds. And
Yeah, well,
so,
and I am such a I don't know if you take the Enneagram test. I'm a 7-8 wing. I run from all of my feelings. I'm like, what, pain? I'm like, let's just have fun and party and all the great things. That's literally me.
I'm a
I'm like, you want to talk?
2-3 wing. I know you can see that. I know you see that in me.
I feel like, is that why we're do we work together well? We work together well, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, I am that friend. I'm like, you come to me with your problems, I'm gonna be like, let's go shopping and get some champagne. Like, that's my solution for everything. When I saw that, I was like, oh, it's me. Me.
Yep. I can totally see that. Yep. I totally get that. I get that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, can we just like, I almost drug out the butter pants.
Oh, I have them. I love the butter pants. Those pants. I love those pants. I have a picture of us wearing those pants.
Seriously, great memory. Like one of my most favorite memories of us.
I laughed so hard. The butter pants. The butter pants, like, feel them. They're like butter.
Feel them. Just come feel them.
Feel the pants.
But honestly, was that the first time that you ever led PIO?
Yeah.
In a class?
Yeah.
I thought that was the case. I was trying to remember this morning. I was like, I think that I co-led PIO with Heather for the first time.
Yep. At Eddie Bauer.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. You did. It was fun. I was so nervous. And now I just go for it. I taught last night. There's nothing like teaching. And then next week I sub some classes. So teaching some doubles, all that. I'm working on building a platform where I have all my classes like online. So like a Netflix of me. It's like webcasting. So everybody's virtual and streaming now. And with like, it's live is such a different animal than like on demand stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's actually something I am going to be announcing. I'm going to be sharing with my sisterhood group later today that they've been asking me for a while to put together a monthly membership with like a workshop and maybe a group coaching session and like some other stuff in there. And so like, I'm like, you know what? I just need to get it done because they've been asking for a monthly membership. I need to make it happen. So next week, it's going to go live.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. Super excited. Like last month, I taught on forgiveness. The month before that, I taught on releasing the fear of judgment. This month, the workshop is empathy.
I like that.
Yeah. So what does, with everything that you've done and been through, sharing all of that with us today, what does living a radiant life mean to you now?
Living every single day authentically as yourself, your true self. What makes you happy? Like living moment to moment in your truth is the easiest way I can say it, because I have let go of every single thought of what I should do, should be. Like with Luke passing, it was like, it literally hit me in the face. Nothing is promised. Quit holding out for like tomorrow or the next day. Make every single moment and every single day your best. Okay, you can work your 9 to 5. So then what are you going to do with your extra hours to give yourself some self-care? Are you working out? It can do anything. You can be going for a walk. I literally believe that you have to feed your body, mind every day, and then something for your soul. So like I'm going paddleboarding today. I fit it in, got the gym in this morning, got my personal development in between spray tan clients, between work, with this stuff. And then I make sure that I get it in every single day. I don't ever let myself go to bed without having doing something fun for myself. And it can literally be taking a bath. It doesn't have to be like going out or going to a show or doing anything that costs money. It's just something that makes your soul feel happy. Moving your body, because can I tell you, moving your body is the number one way to get endorphins and dopamine in your body. You may feel like crap, but I promise you, if you go run, and I have never been a runner before, but there is something really therapeutic about running and running till you can't breathe.
Yep.
And I know it sucks, but like for some reason that pulled me out. I remember the first time I ran, I just puked and it was like drowning all over again for me, but it was so like, okay. And I still have never gotten that runner's high. Let's not get this confused with runner's high. I hate every moment of it, but I love the way I feel
afterwards. I'm the same way. I know.
I'm like, I've been running for like 5 miles and I've been doing this a lot. Like, I don't understand. Where's this runner's high? Not me. It's, you know what? That means you're a psychopath and you need some help. If you're getting high up.
I'm going to tell that to John.
Oh, yes, he does. He likes to run. I forgot that one time that we went and picked him up. Wait, I'm like, he ran. Oh, now
like
I run,
9
but I would
miles.
not.
Yeah.
That's insane.
For
You know
fun.
what?
Like 100-degree weather.
Okay, so he's a psychopath. If you go missing, I know where to start. No, he's the sweetest man alive. So maybe that's not true. Maybe that just means that they're like the ones, they have patience, the ones that can run that long. Because I can't, like,
Me either.
no. And I have to have like something playing and like all the stuff.
Yeah, I don't get
running.
these people that run without music. Like, how do you? I can't listen to myself huff and puff like that.
No, nope, no, neither can I. I'm like, I don't want to hear myself. People come running by me and I'm like, hold your breath. And then I'm like passing out. Like, oh, sorry. Or like when I'm teaching, I like try to put my like heavy breathing in your ear. Sorry, it's gonna be a whole lot for a minute.
Right?
Oh, I do that. But yeah, so okay, so running, anything, just moving your body. I think that's so important. And then nutrition is like super huge. I notice when I eat like crap, I feel like crap. And it just goes hand in hand. And you kind of have to pick that out for yourself. I also want to do a food sensitivity test because I feel like I have some underlying sensitivities going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
But
that.
and then I guess lastly, personal development, or I mean, it could be faith-based, anything that like you're reading. I love podcasts and stuff like that, but I notice when I'm actually reading, even if it's like 15, 20 minutes, I set a goal of 30 minutes. Sometimes I only get 20 uninterrupted or 15, but it's like just having a book that I can like actually read that has, it's like another reinforcer, not just hearing it, but then reading positivity. And then while I get ready, I always listen to a podcast. I like to alternate between like, I'll do one that's like, I enjoy that talks about things, and then one that's more like heavy. That's like, that way I'm getting both. And it's not just, inundated all the time. But I feel like our job is just to always, and everybody should listen or watch the Wisdom of Trauma, but it kind of broke a lot of things open for me as far as like, our job is to suffer and grow through it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And as awful as that sounds, like I must be destined for something great, because still here after all this stuff. Okay, I'm obviously missing the mark of what you want me to do. Like, so I'm like just trying to share and lead, and
So I'm gonna share this. I don't know if you've read the book, Believe, Ask, and Act. Oh my gosh. So I prefer books like this on Audible so that I can listen to a chapter and take notes at the same time. And it's an amazing, amazing book. She's a medium. She is like, it's this whole concept of how you co-create with the universe, and the way that she addresses these concepts are just like super powerful. So that's been my morning read right now. And I'm actually re-listening to it, doing one chapter a day. And I'm kind of breaking it down a little bit, because the first time I listened to it, I got something different than I'm getting now, which is really great. Yeah, for sure.
I have noticed that with a lot of different books, that like I pick up on different things, especially like now.
Well, and at different times in your life too, right? So like, if I pick up You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay now, like the first time I read it, I was 15. The second time I read it was after I finally let myself grieve Allison. And so like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I pick it up now, after all of those years, you get something different because you're at a different place in your life. You're a different version of yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I love that. I love that we just keep growing. And I mean, that's our whole purpose, is to grow.
yeah, yeah. And I think one of the things that, I've always embraced with my background, with my childhood, with everything that I've been through, was that I have clients. I'm currently working with a client who has been through some really, he was raped by a priest when he was young. And he is going through some really difficult things right now as he's getting ready for the lawsuit. And so, one of the things that I want to really help people understand is that you do not just heal your trauma. It's not something that you just, oh, well, it's the skin is perfect again. There's no scars. It's fine. Like, you don't heal your trauma that way. There's this misconception out there that we're having these breakthroughs, and these are, very romanticized moments. And it's not really like that. It's ugly. It's messy. It's snotty, and it's difficult.
And it takes time. It's not like and you're done.
Yeah.
It's not one moment. It's a journey that is never really ending either. It just, it just goes over time. It changes. So you've overcome this obstacle, and you get better as you go.
You do. You're like, shit, well, I've been here before. I know how to do this. I don't want to do it again, but I know how to do this. So the whole purpose is to repurpose your trauma. You get to repurpose it and turn it into whatever it is that you want to do, what kind of impact you want to make in this world. And this is one of the reasons why I absolutely have come to adore listening to your podcast, because it is the truth. It is the God honest truth about your journey, the challenges of being a widow at your age with kids, and all the things that you've been through. And it's so honest. It's an opportunity, even though I'm sure it's been cathartic for you in doing this podcast, you are getting the word out there that this doesn't have to be a taboo topic, and it doesn't have to be done. Your grief doesn't have to be what anybody else tells you it should be. And so there's all of these young widows out there that are listening to you and your journey, and you have repurposed that for them.
That makes me, and when I first started the podcast, it started off as something else. It was just fun with my friend, and it morphed into this, and I realized why it is now, because that was, and the medium, when I initially started it, she was like, I see you doing something with, I see this podcast be like, you're going to help people from like this. We didn't know, as it's unfolding, I see now.
Yeah.
She also said something that I just want to point out, as you were saying, that she told me that you keep reliving the same things until you take the lesson and you take action on it. So not only knowing the lesson, but then you're going to be tested again to see if you follow and make the right choice, right? Yep. So you're going to keep living in that path until you're like, okay, well, shit, I see what I'm doing. I need to make another choice. And then you're going to be hit with it again. Did you make that right choice or not? And then it gets worse every time. So it's like, our journey is to become the masters of ourselves and be so self-aware that we're like, oh, not self-serving, not working for me, going into a different, that's where like we become rewarded and we have happiness and fulfillment. You can't have it without trauma.
Yeah, I know. Yay. Unfortunately, right?
It would be a boring life, though. I have to say, I think it'd be boring, because if I hadn't have gone through the things I've gone through, I don't think I would be as happy as I have a different range of emotions. I can be really happy. I know what happy is because I felt sad.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to lose a child. So I love my children so hard. Like, I have a very great relationship with Jordan, and I don't know if that would be the same way. Cause like, me and Luke were together for so long, like, I don't know, you grow up with someone, right? So like, having like a mature, like normal adult relationship is nice.
I get that.
So like, just, it's just all having those, like, I don't know if I would be able to recognize it as that, or maybe I would be I wouldn't be as far along. I don't think I would be like so self-aware if I hadn't gone through everything. Cause like you just have to pick yourself up and keep going or
Right.
not. I mean, I guess you always have the option to not.
You do. You have the option to stay stuck. You have the option to stay stuck. You can stay stuck for as long as you want. You can sit in your pool, your pity party pool for as long as you want. You have that choice.
It'd be
right?
harder to get out. Yeah.
Right? Because here's the thing, it's free will. Free will. We've been given this thing called free will. We can do whatever we want with it. But when
No rewards come from that.
Nope. Nope. Nothing of greatness has ever happened inside our comfort zones.
Exactly.
Truth is, you can choose to do the work, or life can be work.
I love that.
That's the reality. That's the reality for all of us. And you're right. Like I say all the time, and I've said for years, of course, I'm sure you've heard me say this. When I share my story with people and I see like their face change, like they're so like almost pity for me in my journey, in my story. And I realized that no, my childhood wasn't normal. I forget that my trauma as a kid and as a young adult wasn't normal because I've normalized it so much for myself.
That's all you know.
Right? That's all you know. I don't know what it's like to be a kid out in the world. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a kid with parents who just like let them be a kid. Right? So I sometimes have to remind myself that I've done such a great job with my kids that they have that.
Mm-hmm. You broke that cycle.
I did.
You need to watch. Okay. Yes. Okay. You're going to die when you see this documentary. I'm going to see if I can find it. I know it hasn't been, I just watched it on Tuesday. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. You totally have
I'll
to send
email it to you.
And here's the cool part. Here's the cool part. You, my friend, you are doing the same thing for your kids. You're showing them every day how hard things in life don't have to debilitate you to the point where you stop living. You're teaching them how to persevere, how to show up. And it's really fucking hard to do when you're in the midst of your mess, right? Parenting is hard enough as it is, but you're doing it.
Thank you.
You're doing it. So
thanks for being such a great example. And I know you're always there whenever, I mean, you've been a sounding board for me a lot. So I appreciate you.
I will always be here for you. I adore you. I love you. I won't keep you much longer. Thank you, Heather, for getting on with me today. I've missed your beautiful face.
I've missed you so much.
I adore you, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Same. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your journey and your story with all of us.
Of course. Of course. Anytime.
And everyone else, thank you for watching. Thank you for being on with us today. We wish you all a radiant rest of your day.